Hello, students. I welcome you to today's edition of English language. We are going to look at modals under grammar. And this is a continuation of what we started last week. Last week, we looked at other forms of modals. We looked at how modals are used. For today's lesson, we are going to look at the various forms of using modals. So for our objective, the students will be able to use modals correctly in speech and writing. The student will be able to use modals correctly in speech and writing. Very good. So, for the uses of modals in our lesson today, we want to look at modals used in expressing permission, modals used in expressing promise, modals used in expressing obligation, modals used in expressing impossibility, modals used in expressing threats, modals used in expressing permission, modals used in expressing promise, modals used in expressing obligation, modals used in expressing impossibility or possibility, and modals used in expressing threats. Very good. So when we look at the word permission, we look at the word promise, obligation, impossibility, and threat. These are simple words. But I want to go further by looking at suitable modals that can be used to express all these keywords mentioned. So one of the modals we want to look at is modals used in expressing permission. So you want to ask permission to do something, the consent of someone to do something. So some of the modals we can consider are may, can, can. So you would want to say that, may I come in? More like you are knocking on someone's door and you would want to ask if you could come in. So that is asking permission. It means you cannot just barge in, so you ask permission. So you also want to say that, can I go? Maybe you want to tell mommy you want to go somewhere and you really need a consent. So can I go? It is also a means of asking permission. So we are saying that we can use may in asking permission. We can also use can in asking permission. These are words we are familiar with. We just want to emphasize that we use them appropriately. Very good. Modals used in expressing promise. Modals used in expressing promise. So where you want to pledge, vow, assure someone that you are certainly going to do this. Some of the modals we can use, or one modal which we normally use is will. So I will pay tomorrow. Listowa will pass the exams. Listowa will pass the exams. I will meet you this evening. It's a promise. I'm going to meet you this evening. It's a promise. Listowa will pass the exams. I will pay tomorrow. Modals used in expressing possibility. Modals used in expressing possibility. So probability. It is possible that this thing will happen. not really sure, not speaking or talking out of confidence, but weighing the pros and cons of whatever I want to say. So there is a possibility. So we have modals used in express possibilities to be may, might, can. So some examples we can use this for, we can say in a sentence like he might propose. So it's likely he will propose. They can score in the 90th minute. So they could score or they may not score. She could be in the office. So you can go and you wouldn't meet the person in the office. She can be in the class. You will go and she might not be in the class. So these are some of the ways we can use modals in expressing possibility. So we're saying that possibility, it is not saying that this thing will certainly happen, but weighing the negative and the positive aspect of whatever you are putting across. Modals are also used in expressing impossibility. Impossibility. This one, you are saying that certainly it will not happen. It's not going to take place. So this one, we are going to use the negative form of the modal can. The negative form of the modal can, where we add the not to it. So she can't drive a car, meaning that it is impossible. Looking at this girl, she can't drive a car. Esther can't make fruit juice. It is obvious she can't make fruit juice. So this one is to state that the activity is impossible. Very good. Another way we can use modal is to use it in expressing obligation. Use it in expressing obligation, where you have a duty. Where you have a duty to do something. And some of the modals we can use are ought to, must, need, and should. Ought to, must, need, should. So like we have in the sentences below, you ought to wash the clothes. It's an obligation, it's a duty, it's a responsibility. You ought to wash the clothes. 2, you need to be there before he arrives. You need to be there before he arrives. 3, he might wash the uniform before his father comes back. He must wash the uniform before his father comes back. They should report to the administrator. They should report to the administrator. So you own that obligation to report to the administrator or to the head. Very good. Modals used in expressing threats. Modals used in expressing threats. Modals used in expressing threats. We are saying the word threat means a source of danger. A source of danger. So when we use the word threat, it means that we are confessing danger. So some of the modals we can use are will, shall. Will, shall. Let's look at how this can be effective in our sentences. I will teach you a lesson. It's a threat. I will teach you a lesson. I shall report you. I shall report you. So you are coming in that hard tone to caution someone and to assure the person that there is danger ahead. So it is a threat. Very good. So for our lesson today, we have been very brief, but we have also emphasized on how to use the right modals in order to make impact, in order to make the listener aware of what exactly we are putting across, in order to improve upon our speech and writing, especially upon our speech. And so in doing that, we have looked at how to use modals effectively. We have looked at modals used in expressing permission, modals used in expressing promise, obligation, impossibility, and threats. We have also looked at some examples where we can use these modals and words suitable for the keywords mentioned earlier. We have looked at modals expressing promise. We have looked at modals expressing possibility. We have looked at modals expressing impossibility and modals expressing obligation. We have also looked at modals expressing threats. Very good. I believe that our lesson today has been fruitful, and with more examples on our part, we can use these words properly, accurately in our sentence construction, especially in our speech. Take care and be safe. Bye bye.